My name is Eric Cruiser. I look after Industry X in our South African practice. So what Industry X is the application of digital technologies within operations, and I specifically focus on mining and metals clients within the African context. So what I want to talk today about is what are we seeing from a digital technology application within resources, what are those key transformation principles, and what I'm going to be anchoring on is some in-depth research we've done over the last 3 to 4 months, specifically focused on where the value is and how the value can be unlocked for our mining clients, not specifically only within the operational context, but also for the communities and the environment. So to start off with, our Industry X practice consists of about 17,000 professionals across the world. What we focus on is, as I stated earlier, bringing core digital technologies into operations. And within the mining context, we've got 3,500 practitioners globally focused on mining technologies. What Industry X does is we try and incorporate not only efficiency improvements within your operation, but also then using those improvements to start funding and unlocking value in new business models and allowing you to pivot your business into different revenue streams. So the first question is, well, why technology and why now? So within our mining organizations, we've always been good at applying technology in operations, and we are a data-rich environment. The principle is, however, at this point, we've got the perfect storm. We've got the consolidation of computing costs drastically reducing through cloud computing, sensor costs reducing and holding to Moore's law, and finally, cloud computing together with artificial intelligence becoming mainstream. The culmination of these technologies really allows us to massively drive improvement, and not just continuous, but step changes in the way that we run and drive our operations. Through our most recent piece of research through data-led mining in South Africa, we have estimated 153 billion rands of value not being unlocked by organizations due to 3 principles. 1, underinvestment in specific technologies. 2, a misalignment within the organizational strategy and the digital strategy. And thirdly, a skills gap that is not successfully being bridged. A recent IDC report has shown that the technologies that mining organizations are investing in hasn't significantly changed. What has changed is the time frame of that investment. Autonomous operations, as an example, is being pulled forward to the next 3 years, where it was usually on the 10-year time frame. That, in a combination with smart sensors and the application of remote operation centers and digital connected workers, now fundamentally changes the way that we do remote assisting within the plant environment, leading to a more virtually collaborative and safer work environment. All of these technologies obviously need to be underpinned by effective cybersecurity as well as integrated platforms. One of the key differentiators from organizations that are unlocking the value to organizations that are not is an investment into integrated platforms. Accenture, as an example, has just launched our Cloud First program, where we're investing $3 billion over the next couple of years to help organizations transition to the cloud in a cloud-first strategy, where we will have over 70,000 employees focused at making that shift into the cloud space. Now that we have all of that data available, if we do not drive insights from it, the value will not be unlocked. So the final technology to focus on is artificial intelligence. Now, we've been really good within the mining environment to continuously improve what we do and our processes. But the application of machine learning and other artificial intelligence technologies within the end-to-end value chain space is where the step changes in value unlock will come. Through our research, artificial intelligence has almost 30 billion rands worth of value just within the South African mining context, waiting to be unlocked. So when we refer to trapped value, we are referring to value that has been identified but not unlocked or realized within the organization through the implementation of these digital technologies. So with our data-led mining research, we've come up with a value at stake framework that has got 3 main categories: value to industry, value to society, and value to the environment. What we should really get excited about is the bottom 2 categories, the value to society and the value to the environment. With the increase in legislative pressure on mining organizations to act more socially and environmentally responsibly, the application of technology really allows us to run better operations, more efficient, and through this actually reduce our carbon footprint and uplift society in different skill sets that we previously could not do. Take an example of a mine that rolls out an ELTE network and then gives access to portions of that network to the community. The community now has access to information which they previously did not have, and it does unlock the ability to start upskilling the community in ICT skills, which wasn't necessarily a core skill that would have happened pre that technology rollout. What this does allow us to do is become better stewards within our communities, but together with that stewardship, when the mine moves on, and inevitably the mine will close down, there are skills that are transferable cross-industry, not specifically in mining only. So finally, the question should be, so what are the organizations that are unlocking the trapped value doing, as opposed to the organizations that are not? And I want to leave you with 5 key principles. Principle number 1 is organizations whose digital strategy is their business strategy are far more successful than organizations that do have a distinct difference between those two. Point number 2, organizations who entrench digital as part of their culture are far more successful than organizations that do not. It is quite interesting that we interact with digital on a daily basis in our private lives, and then we expect some of our workforce to go to work and start acting in an analog manner. When organizations eat, live, and breathe digital, the value unlock is much more scalable than when they do not. Principle number 3 is organizations should be value obsessed. Technology does not drive value. Value drives technology. So to be 100% value obsessed and making the business the hero, you will succeed because technology will be adopted at scale, and that scale will bring value. Principle number 4 is drive user centricity over technology. I love the Netflix example. My Netflix looks completely different to your Netflix. And the fact is, it changes every single day. User centricity in our application of digital technologies should be foremost over the technology itself. How a person interacts with it, how a person can use it, and is it making my life easier, will drive adoption, and adoption drives value. And finally, the 5th principle is it takes an ecosystem to unlock value at scale. So within this ecosystem, it is important to choose few and go deep. Organizations who have too many players within the ecosystem struggle because the ecosystem becomes too wide to manage. But also it's very important to make sure that your ecosystem has got value and skin in the game. They need to be, under principle 3, value obsessed, but they must have skin in the game to ensure that your success is their success. So our research shows, by implementing 7 key technologies across the mining value chain, ensuring your people are taken along for the journey, upskilled, and given the right resources to fulfill their digital roles, using integrated data platforms, bringing data together and ensuring that data can be shared across the value chain, and ensuring that your processes and your strategy is aligned, the value can definitely be unlocked. With 153 billion rands worth of value on the table for the industry, and an additional 60 billion rand of value for the society and the environment, if you haven't started your digital journey, what are you waiting for? So with that, thank you very much for the opportunity, and back to you, Bernard.